it is that time again. So I think we can all unanimously agree on the fact that, first of all, my microphone is on drugs, and second of all, it would be a good time to have a change in the format. Not only, Konami should be doing that as a kind of marketing strategy to promote their new product, but also for the player base, because we're getting in-person YCSs again, and it would be nice to play slightly different formats than the ones we've been used to for the past freaking 2 years. Of course, before this video starts, make sure you like and subscribe, check me out on Twitch and Instagram, all the beautiful fun stuff. Let's try to get this video to 1,000 likes, and now let's jump right into it. Oh, and by the way, this is more of a wishlist video than a prediction video. Prediction video will be coming up next week, so make sure you're tuned in. Anyways, the first card that I think should get banned would be either Artifact Scythe or Artifact Dagda. Relatively interchangeable. Now, there are some good arguments to ban Scythe over Dagda, because I guess it could be kind of abused with cards like, Beatrice plus Baroness in order to revive it back, or with the Skylark, Pearlark, whatever, the rank 6/6 monster that revives back a level 6 or lower monster on your opponent's standby phase. Scythe is just getting annoying, and also Artifact Sanctum has always been abusing that card. I think it's just time for the card to go. It's just so, it doesn't even promote back and forth Yugimons. Like, how can you be biased to the point where you actually are encouraging a card like Scythe to exist? You are on drugs. And yeah, now that we have DPE to pop your Scythe that you get off of Dagda, basically any 4 monsters gets you a Scythe on the opponent's turn and a future Pot of Greed. WTF. Speaking of which, I actually think the next card that should be banned would be Predaplant Verte Anaconda. The card is also extremely cancer because at first we only had to really be afraid of Red Eyes the Fusion, which would be summoning Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, but eventually we got Phoenix Enforcer, and now, Merry Christmas, we also have Branded Fusion to summon Mirror Jade, and this is seriously getting on everyone's nerves because every single time there is a fusion spell card that uses materials from deck, what a mother freaking coincidence, people's default reaction will always be to go to Predaplant Verte Anaconda to abuse it because all you really need is just 2 monsters. That's basically it. So it's always the universal backup plan when you get hand-shopped, and that's the thing with Verte Anaconda. It's too easy to summon, too easy to abuse, and it summons actual good cards. Like, if it summoned Ass Cheeks monsters, then, I'd be okay with it. But no, that's not the case. And I definitely think most people could agree with me on the fact that out of all the extra deck monsters out there, the most broken ones are the Link 2s. Universally, we can say that Spiral Double Helix was pretty broken. I think we can all agree on that. Needle Fiber is a pretty good one. Predaplant Verte Anaconda, speaking of the devil. Artifact Dagda. Freaking Raid Raptor Strix, even though that's never been super abused yet, but it's just a matter of time. And we're always going to keep getting more broken Link 2s, so I guess keeping them in check is a good idea, and that's the reason why I think Needle Fiber should get banned, or maybe Mecha Phantom Beast or Radon, relatively interchangeable. Again, there are some good arguments for both, but it really depends on which one limits card design the most. Obviously, with Oradon, you get to summon Cultwing and O-Line if it gets unbanned, which is a little annoying, but it is hard to summon Oradon without Needle Fiber, so you could argue that Oradon is mostly broken because of Needle Fiber, and by banning Needle Fiber, you're essentially killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So I think it should get banned, but I don't necessarily think it will get banned, and that's the main difference, and that's the reason why this is more of a wish list video than a prediction video, because I'm not necessarily going with logic here. Logic, bro. LMAO. Freaking logic, bro. As if it actually worked with Konoma. Don't freaking... LMAO, don't kill me. Alright, that's enough with my Linkophobia. Now let's proceed with the other hits I had planned out. Haha, that's a good one. Anyways, the first card that I would love to see getting limited would be Prank Kids Doodle Doo. That card is annoying as fuck, and the fact that it's a 3 makes it so if the first one gets Veilered, then you just don't care because you just make another one, and then use the effect of the other one. That's it, that's all. So you really couldn't care less, and I think the deck is already resilient enough, and by limiting the card, you are not at all killing Prank Kids, not at all. The deck is still very good, but now you actually need a brain to be able to play the deck. My final hits are actually pretty nice and pretty unrealistic as well, because I would love to see Aquamancer of the Sanctuary. I know that is not the new TCG name, but I couldn't give less of a fuck. And also Rite of Aramesia getting semi-limited both. However, I think because of the fact that they are extremely new, that will most likely not happen, because Konami still wants to be able to promote Brave Despia because that's still a deck. At the end of the day, I think it is still fine if you keep the Brave token engine existing at 3 of every card, but just ban the other cards that kind of make it way too unfair. So for example, right now, if you go like Rite of Aramnesia, summon a token, and then get your Griffin Rider, and you go like, I don't know, normal summon Red Rose Dragon, then your opponent is basically screwed. Whereas if Needle Fiber gets banned, for example, this combo becomes infinitely less good. So I think that would be a good trade-off. Maybe keeping the Brave token cards here and, you know, not necessarily care too much about them. However, ban the cards that make them very, very unfair. And that's basically the first thing that I said when I covered these cards anyways. And if I'd have to unban a few cards, I would go with Blaster Dragon, Ruler of Infernos, Time Seal, and Night Assailant with a small little errata to make it once per turn. Nobody would really care about the card. Bro, I'm not asking for that much. Leave me alone. But yeah, I'd also like to see Astrograph Sorcerer going back to 2. Just stop looking at me like that. I'd also be pretty down with Danger Tsuchinoko going back to 2 and Danger Jackalope going back to 2. I think that could honestly make a lot of sense because out of all the new decks that we've been getting, none of them have really been playing Dangers anyways, even though Nessie has been a 3, so nobody really cares about that. And I think Dangers are not that unfair anymore. If you're playing Dangers, you're most likely not playing hand traps because they kind of conflict with each other. You might be playing board breaking cards, that's a completely different thing. Or you might be playing like a full dedicated combo deck that doesn't even play any of those cards and only plays a bunch of extenders, which I think is actually a pretty healthy concept. But yeah, just to repeat myself, this is a wishlist video, not really a prediction video, because with Konami, logic doesn't really make any sense because last time, Pot of motherfucking Desires got limited. Who the frick can actually predict that? But yeah, if you think I potentially missed something, please do not hesitate to roast my ass in the comment section below and let me know what you guys actually thought about this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe as always, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Peace.